BlackKnights.com here with Offensive Coordinator of the Army Black Knights, Brent Davis. Hey, Brent, first of all, thanks a lot for being with us this morning. I know you guys had probably a hot summer day of practice, but glad to have you with us. Just have a few questions for you. And we talked about this a little bit before, but on so many platforms this year, this has been extremely surreal. From standpoint of social unrest and COVID-19, et cetera. How would you describe it from your perspective, what has unfolded in 2020?
Well, I think, first of all, from a standpoint of our players, it made them really miss each other and the brotherhood that we have here, just being apart for really those 3 months. And I think sometimes you take it for granted when you're part of it. Because you're so busy just trying to cultivate the culture and find ways to win that you don't realize how special it is. And so I think they really missed each other, and they were glad to get back here on June 1st. And really, I think since that time, our team's become really a lot closer, and really, an extraordinary combination of things with the virus and the social unrest and civil unrest. And I think really they've come to understand each other a lot better. Coach Monken's really tried to create an atmosphere where, that's been very interactive with different guys being around each other and discussing different topics. We did that as coaches as well and made that a point of emphasis. We started every meeting with discussions, and sometimes the meetings, we wouldn't do any football. We were just talking about current issues and things going on in life right now. And I think that really helped the whole team. As far as our staff, being apart from each other, but we were able to meet every day on Zoom and really discuss a lot of things, and so really actually helped us in terms of gaining understanding of each other's positions and different coaches gaining a further understanding of our offense, and so there was a lot of positives in it too. And mentally, I feel like our offense is way ahead of at any time we've ever been in the last 7 years. It's just a matter of putting in the physical reps and training their body and the muscle memory part of it that we didn't get from spring practice. But I feel really good about it.
Fantastic. Now, obviously a major part of our society is sports, and of course football sits at the top of the list. This time that you've been kicking off summer practice and winter conditioning, not to mention recruiting, but a lot of things that have taken maybe a backseat to some degree, being abbreviated. Can you talk a little bit about what adjustments you made during the course of all that in terms of you being the offensive coordinator, even recruiting? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I think starting off with as far as being offensive coordinator, just the ability to simplify things, with less time with our guys, without spring practice, kind of going back to some basic things and trying to make sure that we had our best plays shored up against whatever fronts and schemes we could possibly see. Early in the spring, we went to visit a few other places and got some good ideas that have really helped us in things, just minor tweaks. If we can take one thing from a visit to another school, it's a very productive visit. Anything to help our players. From that standpoint, we've really tried to kind of simplify and go back to basics on some things. So that's been really good. And then just being able to, meet with our guys as much as we did. And we weren't around them, but we spent more time just explaining the basics and the why behind why we do things. And so I think anytime you can explain the why, especially with this generation of guys, then it creates buy-in, and they want to know why. And, really sharp guys here, and they want to know why we're doing things. And so we had more time to spend on not just the what, but why we're doing things the way we do them and what we need to do to be successful, how we win here, and how our offense supports our plan to win.
Awesome. Now, each day the college football platform changes when it comes to the questions around, will there actually be a season or abbreviated season? In your case, the home game against Oklahoma has been canceled, and so on and so on. When you hear these things unfold, what really goes through your mind, or is it kind of business as usual until told differently?
Well, we're, as Coach Monken said, we can't really plan right now because we don't know what kind of team we're going to play, what kind of front, what kind of offense, what kind of defense, but we can prepare our guys when we do play. And don't plan, prepare. We can get good at every fundamental that we have. We can get good at our understanding mentally of each scheme that we carry, and we can work on our culture. And so we've been preparing in that regard for whatever we might have the opportunity to see this season. And I think that's really helped us.
Great. Now let's talk a little bit about the offense. As the OC, what can you tell the fans when it comes to your optimism relative to this year's offensive personnel, and why?
Well, I think that we've got a lot more depth to start off with. That's one area where we suffered last year. We played 9 different starting offensive lines in 13 games, and that's not a great recipe for success. I think I saw where Navy started the same starting offensive line in all 13 games they played. So just wasn't a good year in that regard. But we didn't have enough guys ready, and that's something we need to do a better job of. But I feel really good about our depth up front. Feel like our quarterback position is in the best spot that it's ever been in terms of depth and the guys that can contribute. We got some guys that have played in games coming back. We got 3 guys that have played in big football games coming back that are battling out right now. And so there's a lot of things we feel good about. Skill position standpoint, we lost some guys, but overall, I think our depth is going to be better.
And my final question is, and you and I talked a little bit about this before, and you mentioned it just now, the quarterback position. Can you go a little bit more in depth in terms of the guys and the personnel that you have there, and why you're so comfortable at that position?
Well, first of all, Christian Anderson is a different guy right now. He's close to 200 pounds. He played at about 178 in the Navy game last year.
Wow.
Jabari Laws is close to coming back from his injury. He suffered in the BMI game. He looks really good, and then Jamel Jones gets better every day. He came in the Hawaii game, led us right down the field, had an unfortunate interception down there on the goal line, but he didn't flinch when he came in, and he gets better every day. So really those 3 right now, and then Maurice Ballon is also a guy that's competing and continuing to get better. So feel really good about that position.
Great. Hey, Brent, thanks a lot, buddy. Always good to talk to you, and talk to you in a bit.
All right, sounds good. See you, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.